happy Tuesday. It's been a while. Life's been busy and shit's been happening, and it's just been like never the right time. And it's so funny because it's, what time is it now? Like 2 to 3 in the afternoon, and I've had all day, and I've had inspiration all day and things to speak about all day. Like, oh, I'll speak out, but I'll speak on that. You know, I'd got so many things that were like bubbling to come out, and as the day's gone on and I've been chatting shit with Mark all day, it's just sort of depleted in me. So I just thought I'll see if anything comes out, but just as a little update to myself, for my time capsule. It's, what are we in now? Fucking hell, it'd say under the video anyway, won't it? September 20th. Oh, equinox, isn't it then, tomorrow? Yeah, so anyway, fucking hell, boring. Sorry, I've just been thinking, because Mark, he's been searching his whole life, to find out who he is, and address his own shit. Kind of same as I have, but I guess he's had a really wild journey trying to pinpoint down anything, what anything could be, and if he could get any help or whatever. Anyway, he's like 41 now, and he's finally realised that he's like got ADHD, like full on, and it's kind of prevents him from doing certain things in life, and it's a real burden to him. Fucking hell, Polly. Anyway, look how cute this is. I'll just show you. Can you see over there? Hang on. I've got no heating on because it's fucking expensive, and I think these are cold. And they're on top of each other. Look at that. Oh my God, it makes my heart melt. So cute. So anyway, we think Mark's got ADHD. He's got to wait fucking 18 months or something for an assessment. He's hoping to get medication, which originally I was like, oh, fucking hell, because I thought I'd heard, quite a lot of shit stories about it. But apparently there's a few different types of medication, and what people with ADHD are deficient of in the brain, it can really be helped by certain things, certain stimuli, and I think that's why Mark's had a journey with his substance use throughout the years until, really getting his shit together. And anyway, so that's Mark's story, right? And then, so whether the phone's listening or whether, I don't know, anyway, I've just been getting suggested these little shorts, and it's in the algorithm of like women with ADHD or mums with ADHD. And I just watched one last night, and it, like a 30-second video, and I felt like my arse had blown out. And then I had to remember, like, no, calm down, like, this is a 30-second video, don't be diagnosing yourself on anything. Because I've never felt any kind of, in any way, ADHD in terms of the acronym, in terms of attention deficit or hyperactive disorder, anything like that. And then Mark's like, because he's looked into it loads, so like girls present it differently than boys, and I don't know, anyway, but I was just like, this 30-second short, and I'm like, fucking hell, like that is exactly the way my day goes sometimes, with 1,000 thoughts and 1,000 tangents and distractions, and quite often that's what my videos are like. Quite often. But anyway, I was in such denial. I'm like, fuck off, mate. I haven't got ADHD. Like, I'm an absolute champion organizer, and I've got the focus of a Jedi, and he's just laughing at me, and I'm just talking about it more, and I'm like, fuck yeah, it's like I've got myself a little job recently. There's a little pub over the road, and I've started working there just like 20 hours a week, something like that, and I know I must do it because it's taken away some shame that I had in me, But at the same time, you know, I'm like, oh, if I could ever be asked to finish things that I started and motivate myself in the right direction in terms of trying to sell my paintings and stuff, I wouldn't have to be slogging away in a little pub. And as nice as it is, and as nice as the people are, and as nice as everything's been, there is a part of me that feels like it's such just soul siphoning in a way. And I don't know, I'm just really realising things about myself, and the more I try and like really just project my authentic self without preconception of other people's judgments or whatever it may be, I find that like I'm definitely not, you know, this sort of like love and light type of thing. And I mean, it's strange because it feels like the alchemical process of transformation, which is happening through me and has been since like definitely since 2018, but potentially a slow burner before then. I'm like, it's an alchemical process. It's changing the inside of my body. I feel different. I can feel the chemistry different. And how that manifests is that I behave differently, you know. I'm less anxious, less neurotic. I can be present more. I can have more fun. Bloody fucking blah. And it's like great. Each bit is like freeing yourself. And because I'm so into astrology as well, and in particular Vedic astrology, like I really resonate with Vedic astrology, and maybe that's for a certain reason, you know, maybe I've done it in a past life, or maybe, I don't know, whatever, but I really resonate with it. And so when I'm learning about astrology for the last 18 months or whatever, I've been learning about Vedic astrology. A lot of it, you know, is equally as relevant if I were to I can still read tropical charts, and I can still understand the Western astrology and the transits and stuff. And I think I really enjoy the Western astrology for different things, and everything's valid. And it's took me a long while. Oh, sorry, I just thought to myself, listen to me now, going off on so many fucking tangents. Ah, oh, shit. It's so funny because like I should have done a video so long ago just talking like this, and it's like I don't want views or likes or, you know, great trap miles. I don't care. It's like none of that is what any of this is ever for, and I always forget it until I switch the camera on and start talking again to myself, and I'm like, inside it cheers me up. It's like another alchemical transformation when I'm just letting the shit off my chest and talking, just streaming consciousness. My hair looks fucking gross. I look really pointy as well. Shit. Oh God. Life is hilarious and tragic, and like there's so much going on that I'm like hanging on to my fucking arse about, and just realising that these lessons and revelations and teachings that I'll get them when I'm getting them, you know, because things are coming up. It's like my mum's just on her way out of hospital today. She's got lung cancer stage 4. It was like a big shock, and she had 3 rounds of chemo, and then it's like her body just shut down or something, and she had to go into hospital. It turns out the chemo hasn't worked on her. The tumour's even bigger than it was, and so her body's fucked, and so she's been on antibiotics and recuperating in hospital for like I think like 10 days or something now, with fucking non-stop flat screen fucking showing like the Queen and all the fucking programming, you know, non-stop for days. So she's been like climbing the walls, and finally she's allowed to come home today, so I'm like, yay. But obviously this is such a big thing that's going on in my life, and I'm feeling so much more, and obviously in some ways it's a real beautiful thing for me to be able to just observe these lessons of love and attachment and detachment as well, and understanding the transiency of life. And even though theoretically, philosophically, I can say I know that and blah, 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 this is the first time that something's really been real, you know, up in my face. And yeah, it's interesting, sort of Mark's getting it at the same time, his grandma's on her last legs, and there's just a theme of death. And there's also been little mini sort of revelations in my head about just how I feel like sometimes, like, what it is that I'm doing, and it's definitely judgy. It's judging, fuck. And like, but I feel like it's important to judge sometimes, and like we spun a tale about that as well, because being discerning, discriminating is the same thing as judging. You're seeing the behaviour spectrum, and you're finding your moral compass within that, you know. What was I on about? Fuck knows. I'm going 11:33. Does anyone want to buy painting, an astrology painting? You'll learn loads about yourself. And I can do a tropical one. In fact, I've got so many on the walls, I'll show you. Tropical, a nice Placidus, which is the unequal house, standard tropical chart that you may get. This is one of my little nakshatra paintings, which is just the fixed stars. And there's a little flat earth in the middle. Oh, I'll have a quick rant about that before. Here's a Vedic one. What I like about this is that it shows all the different aspects. You know, in the Vedic astrology, the different planets have special aspects, and you don't usually get to see that on a birth chart. So I've tried to include as much info as possible, and, you know, just got the nakshatra names, the degrees, blah de blah. This one over there is one that I've not finished yet. I was trying out different things, but anyway, that's sort of like, they call it true sidereal astrology, where they use the size and the lengths of the actual constellations in the sky. I was buying into that for quite a while, but I seem to have slid into the more Vedic perception. Although what I think I found is that it's the equal houses that sort of really do it for me, and also the equal signs, so I've kind of gone off that a little bit. But what I found interesting about that is that since I've been like looking at the sky and shit for years now, for a few years, and you can see the planets and the you know, the stars, and you get to know the constellations. You fucking see all sorts of weird shit. But swinging back to, 333, swinging back to the flat earth thought, it's like, I'm always like getting fired up and charged about this inside. And I've got way better over the years about talking about it, and I've realised the more and more that I've looked up at the sky, and this is how I started questioning the heliocentric model, or what people say the globe deception, way back years ago, was from looking at the fucking sky and asking myself questions, and then trying to find the answers, and then being like, the answers are BS. And I'm sorry, you know, people can call me thick, ignorant, they can call me what they want, but I honestly think that if people gave it enough chance with an open heart and they looked into certain things enough, there's too many questions. So anyway, I'm obsessed. I love looking at the sky, and I realised that it's like the term flat earth, it's like why I've never resonated with that is because for me, it's got fuck all to do with the shape of the earth. The earth in terms of like the land, the different continents, the geography, the topography, You know, it's like, I'm just questioning the ball, the spinning ball. That's what I'm questioning. But how I'm questioning that, and it's like what I'm really questioning, is our cosmology, how they tell us the solar system is, and what's going on, and how, you know, we're spinning, we're chasing the sun, and the whole of the, you know, we're all shooting after everything. You know, it's all of that is just absolutely too much for me. And so I realised that, like, it's more of a cosmology problem, or a problem up in the sky, or you know, it's a problem with the heliocentric model of the solar system. That's what I've got a problem with. It's not. And then people are like, "Oh, you don't believe in space? You don't believe in space? What's that then? And what do you think the planets are and all that?" And it's like, I don't know. Life is a magical, marvelous mystery ride. But I do know that when we're told things as fact, when there's no way we could know half of the shit they say that we know about what's up there, then that takes away the magic, the mystery, the mystique, and it takes away from us, you know, the sort of like as within, so without sort of feel. It's like the planets are within us. Everything is within us. Consciousness and the stars and the planets are almost like one and the same thing, and there's a connection and a journey, and the way that it's been spun to us through this heliocentric model is not honest. I don't feel, and that's why it bothers me. So it's nothing to do with like flat earth. You know, I've watched so many things that I know that the amount of curvature that should be measurable, if the earth is a ball, even if it's a fucking oblate spheroid or whatever, a fucking pear shape, whatever, enough people have done enough experiments, and the technology's got that much better over the years that we can zoom into things. And I do believe that one day things may be perceived differently, and I hope that when that day happens that I won't be a cunt and be like, "I told you so," because I've never tried to belittle anybody for any perception. I just think that we all are here to have our own perceptions as well, and to build our own philosophies, and to wonder about the sky, and to come to these like mystical, spiritual revelations within yourself with the help of the sky and the stars and the planets. You know, it's super important. And, you know, we're all down here looking at the floor, and we're missing out. And yeah, and it's all so beautiful and so goddamn close and magical. Anyway, these are some of the ones that I've been working on in the past. That's it. Oops, that's the start of a different style Vedic one, and that's another Vedic one. Oops, that just shows the aspects and stuff. Most of these are my chart. Some fucking covert narcissist with ADHD. Oh my god, so funny. Anyway, right, I'm going now. Yeah, oh, if anybody does want a painting, please bloody get in touch. I don't know, comment, fucking send me an email, or look at my website. My website is www.lonewolfinmaga, which needs changing and blah blah, but who fucking cares. I'll give you a discount, and then I'll have to do less hours in my slave job. Yeah. Do you think I've got ADHD? Anybody? Would it be such a bad thing? I'm in such denial about it if it is. I'm really going to try and investigate myself. I was just thinking it's all mums do these things. You know, when you've got lots of things to think about, you've got two small humans and then a grown-up human and yourself and your own thoughts and all the daily trudge. I thought, like, yeah, anyway. See ya, bye.